Annabelle, as always. Welcome back, welcome back. So, I am obviously reviewing a movie today. A type of movie that I don't normally talk about. I don't even know why, but we're going to be talking about the 1953 classic, I guess. We'll go with it. Invaders from Mars. Like I said, this came out in 1953. It is very much a sci-fi B movie. Nothing wrong with that. And that's what I mean by, like, oh, I'm reviewing a movie that I don't typically kind of talk about this type of movie. Like, nothing against, like, sci-fi movies or sci-fi B movies. I just, for whatever reason, just kind of keep kind of passing them up and everything. It's a genre that I'm always like, oh, I want to get more into. Saw this at my library last week or whatever, picked it up, and you know what? Not that bad. It's not that bad, and honestly, too, for a lot of you youngins out there who are very spoiled with, like, CGI and everything, and, like, the technology that we have today, you should maybe check something like this out to really kind of understand where a lot of us elders, borderline elders, always kind of gripe about, like, effects and everything, and, like, special CGI effects and everything, because this one, I will admit, because keep in mind, 1953, like, effects in this is not as great as, a lot of you are accustomed to, so, but this one is, real quick, basically, what it is, very simple. There are aliens from Mars, and they are literally taking over the identity of all the townspeople and everything. And of course, there's that one kid who's crying wolf. All the adults are like, oh, no, you're crazy. Oh, you're just, it's all those comics and whatnot that you're watching. And slowly, one by one, including his parents, end up kind of being taken over by these aliens. And of course, he does find those, like, one or two people who kind of start, like, believing in him of, like, wait a second, is it too late? Is it not too late to save everyone? Who knows? I'm just saying. Very much kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which actually did not come out until 3 years later after this, 1956, I believe, so... but yeah, it's kind of interesting to sort of see, like, the shift, because you could definitely tell, especially back then, like, horror movies were such, like, kids things and everything. I know now we kind of say, oh, it's kid stuff, but, like, you look at something like this from back in the day where, horror really was not taken as it is today. I know horror still gets kicked around and stuff and whatnot, but you can definitely see the difference between, like, this and even 3 years later with the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers that are, like, it's such geared towards, like, kids and everything, wasn't really taken seriously. Like, I feel Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I feel like, was a little bit more of the mature sort of story movie compared to this. There's nothing wrong with this one, like I said, it's, but for someone like me, a lot of you guys are like this who have seen so many different, like, horror movies and everything, and then you see something like this from back in the day, and you're like, oh my god, like, we've come such a far away from this, or such a ways from this and everything, of being actually, like, a legitimate genre, or more legitimate of a genre than it used to be. So, yeah. But yeah, let's go back to kind of, like, some of, like, the special effects and everything that I was just mentioning. I mean, you guys, even I was laughing at some of the, like, special effects, because it's like, back in the day, like, they didn't have the effects like we do. Even, like, makeup effects wasn't taken as serious, I guess. It wasn't, like, a legitimate thing of, like, oh, I'm gonna go into, special effects and stuff, and, like, practical effects and everything. It's literally, like, the costumes in this, and like I said, it's, like, a lot of this is kind of gripey and everything, but I'm not faulting this movie because, once again, keep in mind, 1953, so things were so much different. I mean, wait another 15, 20 years from this, and it's like, that's when you started seeing more, like, mature and advances in special effects. But, like, the costumes clearly were just, like, like thrown out like Howdy Doody bear costumes or something, or not even Howdy Doody, because I don't even think Howdy Doody was around during that time. I don't know. When was Howdy Doody? I don't know. Was Howdy Doody more 70s or was it before? I don't know. But it's like just one of those like things where you're like, okay, that suit literally is like a bear suit that they just were like, okay, we're just gonna make this as an alien, we're gonna paint people's faces and everything, and just like people are just walking, you know, like that's how the aliens would walk. Like I remember, like at one point, they're going onto like the ship or something, or like the area of the aliens, and like no joke, in the archway, like, you know, they're trying to kind of make it seem like spacey and everything, but literally, it just like rows of like balloons cascading the archway and everything. So it's like things like that that really, you know, once again, like especially to like the younger kids who totally will probably rip a movie like this apart because of those simple things of like, look at those special effects, it's horrible, worst movie ever. It's like that's what they had at the time. That's what they had to work with at the time. I'm just saying. So, but no, I mean, the movie was kind of fun. I had fun with it. Honestly, if Horror Pack were to send this like in a pack or something, I would be happy with it. Honestly, you know. And like I said, I mean, comparing it to other sci-fi beat movies, I mean, I can't tell you for sure if this is like really one of the better ones. Just from what I saw of it, I had fun with it. I had fun. Are there probably better movies, sci-fi B movies from back in the day than this? Probably. Probably, like The Tingler, you know, there's things like that. I mean, but I'm sure there's probably also a lot worse movies than this from back in the day, so I'm just saying. So basically, if you're a fan of, like, the original or even the 1978 Invasion of the Body Snatchers, give this one a shot. You know, it definitely does not hold a candle to those movies, but it's decent. You can kind of see some of like the comparisons and parallels and everything between the two, but not a bad one. It definitely, obviously, it is very kid friendly, especially if you have like some like the really younger kids and everything, like under 10, like maybe specifically like maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years old that are really kind of like, I want to start watching some horror movies. You don't want to give them anything too much. You want to test out their tolerance. Have something like that in. I'm just saying. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you have seen this movie or other sci-fi B movies that you think maybe I should check out. Leave them in the comments. I'm just saying. Until next time, you guys, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.